And when we label a child ADD or ADHD, they're pretty well defenseless with that label because we observe them in such static senses. We have them sit in lines in school classrooms and have them regurgitate answers to right and wrong and then evaluate them in comparison with all the other standardized students in that same classroom. If we had the same criteria to evaluate adults, 100% of them are ADD. It's okay for an adult to say, well, you know, I just don't remember things like I used to, but we don't say, hey, you've got ADD. But if a child fails to perform in these tasks, immediately we start to label them, and that would be the area that I have an issue with the pharmaceutical companies. They're not looking for a solution to ADD, they're looking for a market for their products, which is very different where we are grounding ourselves. We're looking for a solution for these children. The challenge is most adults don't realize they have ADD or ADHD unless they go to a doctor and they're diagnosed. They just think it's normal to forget things. It's normal not to concentrate because all of their neighbors can't concentrate. So they just think it's normal. Yes, well, that's because you're all having the same issue, which is probably why you can't figure your way out.
It's too much. There's too much corn syrup, sugar in our diets. Our minds are totally bombarded by these impure sort of foods that that are foisted on us. And the mind or the body. Why are we so attracted to bad food? I mean, that's a question I always wanted to ask a scientist like yourself. Why do we like bad food?
I think there's a great degree of the marketing involved with it. There's not a lot of marketing for how cool celery sticks are.
There you go. It's the mind, in other words.
Yeah, from a strictly biochemical sense, I would say the body forms a habit. Once when the habit is formed, it's very difficult to break the habit, especially if the brain, which is the organ that receives the message from the mind, if the brain is not operating at peak efficiency, it doesn't get the message. Right now, for instance, the idea of omega-3 and omega-6. Omega-6 is the balancing function of omega-3, where omega-3 will reduce inflammation and reduce cell division speeds. Omega-6 speed up inflammation and speed up the rate of cell division. Normally, it's in a 1-to-1 ratio. Right now, however, in the diet, which used to be 0.2% omega-6, it's 20% omega-6. So now the very balancing act in the brain is completely off kilter, and omega-6 causes inflammation and speeds up cell division, leading to this massive amount of cancer and massive amount of inflammatory disease. Now when you look at your diet, everything in the diet has hydrogenated soybean oil, which is omega-6, and everybody thinking they're eating healthy are eating whole grain cereals, but the grain, it has the oil, and the oil is in a plant omega-3 1 and omega-6 3, not like a human, omega-3 and omega-6 1-to-1. So the more whole grain cereals you eat, the unhealthier you get.
Oh my God, I've been feeling that, you know, on a psychic level. That's the only way I can say it. You know?
Most people, when they hear this information, they go, oh yeah, because they do know it. It's just that they get themselves into sort of a hypnotic rhythm of doing the same thing day after day after day, and so they never really, they don't think about it. Absolutely, none of our product is made from baby seals. You can't hunt baby seals. We're using a portion of an animal that has already been sacrificed.
It's already been harvested, not specifically for your product, but
out of respect, we're finding some of this by looking at all the oil that's come from the harvest.
In a way, you're respecting the North American, Native American energy to use all of the beast.
We want to.
You found a way to use this oil from a harvested animal that would have been captured with or without your product.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, our main focus, we're not able to do it right now because our main focus was to find something that would benefit children. their brains, and we've done that. But our next focus from a, if you would, a holistic, a marketing side, is we're identifying the Inuit hunters themselves, where we will take specific amounts of seals and use all of the seal. We'll use the fur for the clothing, we'll use the oil for the nutritional supplements, we'll use the meat, we'll turn it into a pelletized dog food. Yeah. So we'll use 100% of the animal. We're not there yet, but this is clearly our focus where we want to go.
Mm-hmm. And these are animals that are living in the wild. They're not like on corporate farms where they don't see the light of day, and they're crammed together.
There'd be very few seals that would want to trade places with industrial chickens.